Hey, what's going on? What's going on, everybody? That's right, just finishing that coffee. It's slowly draining down. Hope everyone's having a great Friday. How's it going, Wing? Honey Pop? I was doing a little Hario V60 this morning, a little pour over. What's our liquid ounces on this puppy? About 500. Not too bad. Got some new coffee beans. Oh, I guess it's like a week old now from when I came back from the Netherlands. Lots of good coffee. Everyone over there was doing great. Yes, Seabass over here was preparing the coffee. Mr. Steven, that is correct. I was actually building some Sweet Monkey applications at Ignite and used some Pancake View naturally. Hey, IoT, how's it going? Hope everyone has a great Friday.
While you're gonna wake up and work hard at it. Nothing is impossible.
What can I say? There's a slight delay. I can't do anything. Honey Pop, thank you for the subscription.
Hey, friends.
Coming in for 4 months.
Hey, friends. My name is Scott Hanselman. You can find me on the internet.
All right, let me pour it over here. Beautiful. Let's pour it up. Just get a little bit there, and we'll go ahead and pop this cap on. Wow.
I'm way up, I feel blessed.
Mash J Prime, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. It is not called IoT. Oh, it's steaming. You just can't really see it. I don't know if you can see it, but it's there. It's there. You can see it. It's there. It's happening. Yeah. So this is the. I mean, if you've never seen a Hario, then this is the Hario. It's still dripping actually into my Tonks cup. I'll just let it sit there while it finishes out. My nice little filter. This smells pretty good. Usually do an AeroPress. I was feeling like a mood today for a little bit, slower drip down, which I super duper like. Appreciate everyone that's been around, hanging out with me for the last few months. I think it's been a year since I started streaming. So I don't know when the 1 year anniversary is, but it's definitely was relatively recently. So boom, 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 boom. What am I doing over here? Just logging in, doing stuff. Did anyone else hang out in Clark IO today? He was being ridiculous playing the saxophone. Thought it was pretty cool. Anyways, hope everyone's having a great Friday. I just got back from Ignite. MS Ignite. I actually took the day off, so it's actually a day off, but still streaming anyways, because I told Frank that I would do some stuff for him and try out some new C# features. I got pretty jazzed after talking to Mads this last week, so it was pretty cool. Pybog didn't get enough mots at Ignite. Got to get more mots in your life. That's the answer to everything. Yeah, Ignite was cool. I got to hang out with Pybog and David and Maddie and everybody, which was really nice. It was a pretty chill, stressful, exhausting few days. I'm back. I need to get a haircut. I need to shave my face, but besides that, it's going strong in general. Wing asked, what is a Mots? Mots is my nickname, M-O-T-Z. That is just my nickname, so that's what a lot of people call me. It's mostly just a short and abbreviation of my last name. So, but it's like old from grade school, way back in the day. So, no coalescing, yes. Today we're going to take a look at the null reference types that were introduced in C# 8. Frank and I were talking about C# 8 on merge conflict last week, and I said that I would put it in one of my libraries so I could better understand it. So that's what we're going to try to figure out today. I know a lot about the feature, but I don't know all that much about the feature. But Ignite was really good. Got to meet a lot of people at the conference, people that watch the stream, people listen to the podcast. That was super cool in general. So Honeypop asks, are you one of those people that wants nullable strings? Well, I mean, a string can be nullable, I guess. It's more about the nullable reference types of saying when things aren't allowed to be null in general. So that's what we're going to try to figure out today. But, I mean, strings can already be null. So, because they're there. But it'd be nullable reference types. Hope everyone else is doing good. I'm just chilling. Yeah, but it's more than it's more about the question mark. I mean, oh, nullable strings question mark. Yeah, why not? Yeah, if it's gonna like help developers and library creators to flip on nullable, which is what we're gonna try to figure out today, then sure, go for it. I was talking to Mads too, Mads Torgerson, and he really thinks that's one of the best parts of all of it. So. Shu says, clean codebook says returning null is the worst part of coding. Of clean code, maybe? Yeah, I hate returning null. It's not a super big fan of it in general. So, I also hate checking against null. So, that's kind of a issue. But, yeah. Anyway, so I figured to start slower, the best thing to do would be to maybe...
I'm way up, I feel blessed.
To maybe do my MVVM helpers library. Because I need to do a new release anyways, but I need to check out the CI service. I need to check out the library. It's small enough that it should be able to self-contain it, but it's hopefully it does that. David Wangier, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the crew. A lot of people also subscribe in the last week since we were gone. R. Thomas, thank you for this follow 20 hours ago. Six Slayer, cool name. Anime Master. Boz D. DJ. And Sunny Hanwell, thank you for the follows in the last week while I was out and about at Ignite. But it makes literally no difference if you have a nullable operator. It won't break either way. Well, let's just actually hop over to the other machine. Let me move my coffee out of the way. Let me do a little rearranging here. Get into my main mode over here. Let's type Spidoo and let's click the button. All right, cool. So, yeah, so nullable reference types and non-nullable reference types. That's what C# 8 introduced, right? And the idea is to make it so you can declare really in your library, in your API, what is allowed to be null and what should not be allowed to be null. So a reference type, let's go ahead and zoom in here. A reference type is not oh, jeez, Mortal.
And work hard at it. Nothing is impossible.
Mortal, thank you so much for the 10-month sub. Of course, we'll make a donation to the Malala Foundation, empowering and helping women all over the globe. They do all sorts of great activities for education, leadership, all sorts of great stuff.
Nothing is impossible.
And welcome, Mortal, welcome. All right, so it really, the idea here is that we're making statements about the properties for our reference types. Like we as library creators, we're making it inherent and we're making it specified, right? So that a reference is either not supposed to be null. So when variables aren't supposed to be null, the compiler enforces rules that ensure it is safe to dereference it. And then also when a reference can be null. So when variables may be null, the compiler enforces different rules to ensure that you have correctly checked for a null reference. So it says this new feature provides significant benefits over handling of reference variables in earlier versions of C#, where the design intent could be determined from a variable declaration. So previously, when a reference could be null, no references were issued when a reference type is initialized to null or later assignment to null. And then a reference is assumed to be not null. The compiler doesn't. So basically, we're going to help the compiler understand, to help our developers that are using our libraries understand when something may be null and that is bad in general. So A nullable reference type is noted using the same syntax as nullable value types, question mark, so string question mark, is appended to the type of the variable. For example, the following variable declaration represents a nullable string of name. All right, so we kind of understand that this is saying that, hey, this could be null. I don't know, we're gonna find out, Honey Pop. That's what we're gonna do. It says any variable where the question mark is not appended to the type name is a non-nullable reference type. This includes all reference type variables in existing code when you have enabled this feature. The compiler uses static analysis to determine if a nullable reference is known to be non-null. The compiler warns you if you dereference. This is very advanced. Like, that's why I was a little bit worried to like not turn it on, because I'm like, I don't quite understand it 100%, really. Non-nullable. That makes sense. Null can't be assigned. So if I say non-nullable, so here's what's kind of cool. So if I say non-nullable, then null cannot be assigned to that type. Okay, and they don't need to be checked before dereferencing. So if I say, hey, this is non-nullable, then no big deal, right? I don't have to check it, you don't have to check it, it just can't be, it doesn't have to be null. Nullable, null can be assigned to variables of this type. Dereferencing variables of this type without checking for null causes a warning. So if we turn this on, what our code is going to enable us to do is say, hey, this thing can be null or this thing cannot be null, ever. And then it will figure it out for us. All right. Oblivious. Ooh, I like that word. This is a pre-C# 8 state. Variables of this type can be dereferenced or assigned without warnings. Unknown. So we don't know.
Way up, I feel blessed.
Esperoso's 7DC. Thank you for the follow. Cool. Okay. Nullable context. Blah, 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 blah. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to turn this puppy on right here. I'm just going to turn on the whole thing. So let us go. Ooh, I got the new icon. That's cool. So what we need to do is go in and make sure that we have... I guess I need to update my license. Okay. While I do that, I guess. Lil Dan says, I'm getting more into C#, but coming from Python and JavaScript, how do you know from where a class comes from looking at the sample code? Smob says, been upgrading several projects to use this. Little Dan, so if you're inside the IDE, I have MVVM helpers here. Let me make sure I sync this really quick here. Make sure I have everything. Let's create a new branch. Call this nullable. Boop. So if you're in the IDE, Dan, yeah, I mean the class is, I mean, so if I was to look at, so this thing, we have a bunch of stuff in here, like a grouping. That's maybe a little bit much. It's like there's this like base view model, right? And this is my little MVVM helper class. And here, I'm just saying that this is an observable object, and you can go to definition, and then that will go to the code. I'm not sure exactly what you're looking for. There are probably a lot of branches with nullable right now. That's correct. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is we need to update this to Langverge 8.0. Now we have a .NET Standard 1.0 and 2.0 and a .NET 4.6.1 for some reason. I don't know why, but we do. So I'm going to turn on Lang version 8, so that way we can use C# 8 features, because why not? No reason not to. And then we should be able to turn on this. It's a long document. Ooh, there's a tutorial. I like this. Oh.
up, I feel blessed.
Burton76, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. This is also a very long... Why is it so long? It's like it's an extremely long... I just need like something very short. That's what I really want. You know what I mean? Like first person example. It's really not that long, but... This one? This is Philip. Alright, cool. So... Here we go. The not null argument. Oh, this is also a little bit long. See, just a little bit long. Maybe it's this one. This is the one I like. I like that, I like this, right? So, this is what I like here. This is really
Way up, I feel blessed.
Yes, Honey Pop. This is the one. This is the one that Mads does all the time, and I really understand. Footy, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Shoes on 333 asks, is there any adverse effect on implementing nullable? Nope. There's not any adverse effect, except for you need to implement it. So, and then your consumers will consume it. So yeah, this is the example I like, right? Where it's like, hey, first class and middle name and last name, like this may be null. So when I turn this on, what we would be saying is that first name cannot be null ever. First name can be null because this is nullable, and then this is not null. And then this would basically, again, I don't know why this is. Oh, so here we go. So this thing is nullable, and then this would give us a warning. So let's do a little little exercise here. Okay. Let's do a new project, just so I can kind of understand this. So I'm going to create a net standard library. .NET standard. Boop. Boop. Just so we can understand this concept, right? Let's boil it down here. So I'm going to go in here. I'm going to say Lang version 8.0. Just upgrade that. And then we're going to turn on nullable. So let's do this. So this will be person class library 1. Yes. So let's copy and paste this puppy in here. So here we go. There we go. All right. Oh, look at this. And now, since I have that on, it's going to say first name is not initialized, even though we're saying it's a nullable. So this can't be null. Ooh, so that's very nice. So it's helping us, right? It's helping us turn this on. So, it's going to copy in some of this code here. Like how it's just M. M2. Oh, I guess M. Let's do right line. Oh. Using static system.diagnostics.debug. There we go. NS. Okay. Let's see what else we have in here. Yep, okay. So they should make the checkbox nullable. Yeah, they could. I mean, they could if they wanted to. I think the thing is they really don't like to muddy up any of this stuff here. There's just not any real purpose to put a lot of junk inside of here. It's like you'd have to add every single thing ever, and I don't know if it's really worth it at that point, but yeah, like you can't even select the version number anymore in here. It's all just controlled inherently. But so here what this is saying is that private member M is on. Okay, that's fine. So this is gonna say like, hey, this thing may be null, so you didn't do a check here, right? So you get a warning in your code. You can still compile this, but you get little compiler helps, right? So it's not actually gonna break your code if you flip it on. But now if I did string.empty, right, then that will go away. And then here we'd say string.empty, and that would go away. And then it'll help me, right? I can either suppress it, or if I wanted to, I would do that. Because they need to check against null. But notice here, since I checked against null, so this is what it's trying to tell us, right? Like here, I haven't checked against null. So it's telling us that this is saying it could be null. So here's a warning because you didn't check against null. But if you check against null, then you can do that. And the same thing here. See, we've already checked it against null, so that's okay. But then we set it to null, so the compiler knows that this may be null, so you need to check it again. That's actually really cool. Yeah. Dan asks, that's what I mean. You have a sample class. How do you know what to import? Oh, the namespace. The namespace is your import, Dan. So that's where it comes from in there. The namespace. You should, one thing I would recommend doing if you're brand new is check out this. Copy link, shove it right in there. Bam. It's an intro, it's a 19-part series on intro to C#. Boom. What namespace does a class belong to? Oh, great question. Hey Yukon, how's it going? I'm doing great, you know, just grinding away. Working on some new C# 8 features. Working on this nullable reference types in here, which is kind of cool. So we're trying to figure it out so we can help developers understand when things can be null, when they can't be null, when they're using my library, which is cool. And helping a few other developers get started there. Yeah, so the namespace here, so this person is in this namespace here, right? So, like if I created a new like class here, so I can show you here. So let's say do class 2. And this was in like my app, right? And if I wanted to create a person, so public person here, what'll happen is that this is going to tell me that I need to bring in class library 1 because person is inside of class library 1. Class library 1 dot person. So in any namespace, you could, for instance, if I back that out, I could say class library 1, which is the namespace. That's a bad namespace. But then dot, and then there's my class. That's how you know that's the name of it, right? So there. Okay, so let's flip on nullable in my app and let's see what happens. So if I just go here, flip this on, do the same thing. It's C# code. When you go into it, you can just see what. Okay, so watch. Let's do this. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and say manage NuGet package. We'll go through this with you. So I'm gonna install MVVM helpers, right? Which is my library. Here's my library. I'm gonna install this. It's a third-party library. Now, normally you're gonna like, use stuff from that library, right? So if you just go into, so if you're in Visual Studio here, this is gonna show you that it's like my NuGet package. I just installed my DLL, and then like there's the DLL that it's in. But you probably want to read the documentation to understand like what the namespaces are. But let's say you were like, oh, I really want to use James's MVVM helpers class, and he's like, oh man, he's got that cool base view model, right? So if I came in here and I said, okay, well, class 2 is going to inherit from base view model, right? Visual Studio says, hey, this is where it lives. It knows where it lives. It's super duper smart. So it's going to bring that in right there. And if I right click and I say go to definition, there it is. It knows the code, right? Because it's just compiled types. So then it knows it's an observable object. I can go deeper. It's all in there. It's all in there. And you can see exactly where it goes into any type. You can just keep diving in. So, all right, let's go into my MVVM helpers. Enable nullables. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Okay, well, let's see. Okay, cool. So this is pretty good. So, yeah, so this is good because already we do get some errors here. And what this is going to say is can execute the parameter. Let's bump this up a little bit here. Perfect. Maybe 140. So this is good. So I turned it on and then I literally can't compile, right? So this is good because I probably have code. Yep, 17 errors. Perfect. So let's walk through it. So here I'm going to say this can be null and this can be null, right? And then those can be null. These also can be null. That's fine. Okay. I'm in a few places. And then down here on exception. All right, so this will trickle down a little bit. This is good. So let's go into definition here. And this is going to assign that to null, so that can be null. So let's mark it as can be null. And so far it's looking okay. Because if I didn't check against null, then we would see some stuff here. But see, I'm actually checking against null. I guess I don't even need to do this. So can I remove that? On exception, when exception does not equal null. Yeah, so I can remove that actually. Because had I done this, yeah, see, I get an error that says dereference is possibly a null reference. So I actually get that exception in there. But this is gonna basically tell the compiler that I'm okay. All right, cool. There's some other issues in here. Async command. Yeah, these are fine too. Question mark, question mark. But what I'm telling, so here's what I'm doing is I'm telling everybody that you cannot set this to null. And then really, I guess I don't need to check against this null argument type. Right? Because it can't ever not be null. I think. I think the same thing here is like, I don't think that you can pass in null. So Smob says, I have one piece of code where I check for null in an unusual way and it still warrants. Otherwise, everything worked as expected. Yeah, so here, execute. All right, that's good. All right, let's see what else I got. So now if I go into my async command test, right? My assumption here is how does it, okay, I need to configure finish my checks. Okay, cool. So let's go into command. I guess that's a question I have is like should I still check and like this is saying it can be null, this is saying it can't be null. So like do I actually need to okay, they might not be using C#8. So I still should check that then. I see, gotcha. So I still should check against null here. David, good observation. Okay, cool. So I'll leave those in there. So this is good. All right, command. Command says this could be null, so... Oh, interesting. This command that takes an action to execute. Non-nullable can execute is uninitialized. Consider declaring it as a... Okay, so this here, can execute needs to be... Oh, if you pass it this, then I'm saying that it should not be null. Yeah, so in this instance, like, I'm defining my methods, and what I'm saying is can execute can be null, but execute cannot be null, so you can't not have that. You end up having to properly initialize fields and properties, yeah. So here, this is saying... It's a little bit funky code, but yeah, if this is null, do that. If you're going to... Yeah, it's kind of weird that I'm allowing it to be... Like, there's actually no issue with can execute being null, right? Because here... Like, why am I actually... Like, I don't actually know... Like, if you were to pass null into this, does it actually matter? Like, does my API that I'm creating, do I want to say, like, hey, if this can be null, then you should be able to pass null into this, right? And if you can, you should just set it. I don't think that that matters. I think that code's wrong. Same thing here, like this command. Like, this is allowed to be null. Execute can't be null, but that can be null. This cannot be null. This can be null. What's that mad at me? Dereference of a possible null type. Ooh. So this I would say dot invoke like that. I don't actually know here. It helps you basically it helps you validate your API design. That's right. So, because what I want it to be is, like, if you were to pass in null into this, it shouldn't actually matter, because, like, if you just construct it without, let's say you're just like, oh, I don't want null. Like, that shouldn't throw an exception. That seems silly to me in general. And what this does is this sends it this action. This is going to send it... I don't actually know. Dereference of possible null reference. If it's null, then pass null else? Nope. So this is supposed to take in a... Oh. Oh, maybe... So, because, yeah, it needs to be, Because this is trying to pass it down, so we assign it via this here. It's kind of like this gets set here, because this is going to be a function of object. Oh, so it should be maybe... I don't know, actually. I wonder if I could just not do it here and then just do it down here, right? Like, if can execute, I guess you could just set, yeah, this dot can execute equal to, also it's just going to be null by default. So I would say like if can execute does not equal null, then set it equal to O can execute, right? I guess. Oh, if null, return true else as default. I think that. Else it, like, you're not going to assign it, and that's okay too, because that can be null, so it's going to be null by default, right? Like, hey, if it's null, then just do that. But it's kind of weird that you can't pass in the null in here, right? So why can't I just do like null? That's what I was thinking, is like can execute right? Oh, I see, because one's a lambda and one's not a lambda. Oh, maybe I passed this in. I just think this is better, probably. Default? Needs a typecasting on it. Yeah, I just think you could probably just do this then. Right, just... because this will then just call this, which then I'll just set my can execute down here if it's not null. You don't need to pass an object O. Yeah, because what it's passing it is an action or function of object bool. So I would need to pass it an object and return a bool out of it, right? But I think this is fine. Everything else looks good. All right, what else we got? Command utilities. That's all good. Green. Exceptions. All green there. Not much going on here. More green there. Base view model. Interesting. So you should be able to set this, like, I guess the question is here, if you wanted to set them to null, you should be able to set all of these to null if you want to. So So that should be a string. There. Like these, if you want to set this to null, I say go for it. I don't know why you want to, but if you want to, go for it. Icon, 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 icon. Booleans, those are fine. You're not gonna not do those. Header, header, footer, footer. I don't know why I have all these properties in here. Alright, cool. Grouping. So your key can never be null. And do we want the items that you pass in to be null? No. Same thing. You have a key and a subkey. Those can't be null. Your items, those should never be null. Observable object. Oh, hey, oh. Okay, so nullable, nullable. Inherently, in my API design, I said these can be nullable. This string property can never be null. It's fine. Property changed handler. Ooh. Non-nullable is uninitialized. Consider declaring it as nullable. Okay, so it can be null. That makes sense. That's good. Anything else? Observable range collection. Like, I guess that becomes part of the API question. It's like, do we allow nullable collections to be passed in? And I think here we're saying no. Where's this error at? This item's changed. Could be null. How do you do that new thing? There's this new thing in C#8 that allows you to do like is that right? I don't know. There was this thing that I saw Mads do. It like blew my mind. I thought it was so cool. That's the utils. That's fine. Ooh, there's a lot in here. Interesting. I didn't write this code, that's my problem. Let's go ahead and add those on here. So if they're nullable up front, it's fine. Okay, so this is saying, so new subscription, that can be null, that's fine. This handler cannot be null, or else it's gonna throw it. Cannot be null, so that's fine. Remove event handler, event name. I don't think that you should be able to, I think like that's wrong. I think so. This seems fine. My assumption here is that actually on these, I think this is wrong. Like if you have an event, that should just be string.empty in general. I don't think you should be able to pass in an event name of null, because if you pass in an event name of null, we throw an exception, right? So that can't be null. So why are we setting it to null as the default? That is not correct. So bad API design there. So let's go and fix that up too. So here, get rid of that. Because like in this case, we're saying, listen, if you pass, you have, this can't be null and this can't be null. Like we literally check it here. So the same thing here. You can't. There we go. So in this case, oh, look at this bug. So we need to do a null coalescing here. Oops. So subscription that we pass in, but subscriber might be null. To raise. And we're saying that this can be null, this subscriber. Okay. Where do you say, well, because here's the problem is that you can't do string.empty there. Has to be compiler time consistent. So you actually have to use this. I don't ever use this, but for compile time that works. You can't use string.empty in this case, unfortunately. Right, same thing here. It doesn't let you do it. So it's not compile time constant, which is unfortunate. And that's the one thing. But I use string.empty everywhere else except for this one case. So that's the one thing. Yeah. Okay, so this can not be null. So like if we validate this weak event manager, what we're saying is like these two things can't be null. So like don't put a question mark on them. Same thing here. Like these two things can't be null. I also don't like is null. Not a fan. But there's another way to do it. C# check if null, not if object. There's like this new pattern matching thing. Nope. There's this new thing I swear I saw, which was like, I thought it was like, this is like an object, like does not equal this. Is that what it is? No. Two parentheses. Oh man, I saw Mads do it in something. I think I took a photo of it. I don't like is null. I come from, like, when I worked at Canon, we were all like, don't ever use is anywhere. But maybe that's just old school mentality, I guess. I swear I took a photo of Mads. Let me see here. At .NET Conf, where would it be? Is where? I don't see it. So before those, question mark, is all our wedding photos are just injected into our feed. I took a photo, I swear I saw it. It was like, maybe I tweet it maybe? Let's see. Where are these photos in here? When would be not .NET Conf? That would be like November. No, October? September. Would have been in here. September. I swear I took a photo of Mads' computer. Oh, come on. It was like so cool. I don't know how to do, I don't know where it's at. Gosh darn it. Maybe it wasn't released. I swear. I don't see it on my phone. Darn it. Okay. All right. Well, let's see here. This just compiles. I guess that's good, right? I don't know if I really found any bugs in my code, though. That's a question, I guess. And if I do this, do I get any? That seems to work too. I don't know if this actually unreachable code detected. All right, so we could probably remove this. That's good. All right, so I'm a little confused if I did anything right or not, I guess. Oh, I should turn this on. There we go. So there should be... So if I turn on that, now I think this should tell me, right? Because this doesn't need to be... There we go. No, it's not right. What's that? That's not correct. Rebuild? Do my tests still pass? Good question. Oh, this is mad at me because icon no longer exists in here. Okay, well, what is it then? Package icon URL, package icon. Okay.
Some people dream of success while you're gonna wake up and work hard at it. Nothing is impossible.
Hey, buddy, thank you so much, Luis, for the 4-month Twitch Prime sub. You only get one of those a month. You gave it to me, and I appreciate that so much. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Package icon. It is use package icon / icon instead. I have this somewhere. GitHub.com / James Montemagno. Template. Let's see, I have it in here. Package icon URL, no? Okay. I don't know what I changed it to. Yeah, I don't know. Everything happened there. I guess, do I have to turn on nullable reference types in my projects to get that stuff too? Like, if I turn that on now, does it build and give me errors? It's still good. Oh, I get 59 warnings. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, so like but that's for me consuming it. Huh. I guess that's my question, is like, did... This is just like my tests. I was hoping that, it's funny, I have like person. Because this is saying that it cannot be null. I guess, like, I don't know if this is the best library to actually do it on, because there you go. Yeah, that's if it is not null. Yeah. Thank you. Mads did that. Yes, you're correct. That's what it was. It was if Yeah, it was like really cool, right? It was like, okay, so let me see here. So let me turn that off. That's right. He went in and he did something like, yeah, it was basically, yeah, you're right. He did like is, and that did like is not null, then val, right? And this is saying like is this structure is object, then val, and that would be the event handler that comes out of it. And that's like the best way to do it. But I think that, yeah, I mean, I guess for if that equals null, then this will do it. Okay, well, I think that I just nullify this. So I think if, let's say I came into, what does it do? That's fine. Where that build error is, it's fine. Deprecated, let me do copy. Thanks for that long message. Deprecated icon URL. Packing an icon file. Ooh. I could do that. Ooh. Packing icon. Oh, okay. Let's do that. Let's upgrade this puppy. So we get rid of that icon URL, which is actually on here. So let's do this. This will be in my item group, and I should have an images, add a folder. In this folder, it doesn't exist. I want it to be images. Let's do open. That's cool. They're putting the image inside of it. That's actually really nice. So let's do open file. And we do actually have art. We have icon. And where's my view at? File extensions, icon.png. New folder. Images icon.png. That's cool. And then here, this is going to be package icon. All right, easy enough. Easy enough. Fine then, Visual Studio, you win. Icon.png. Bam. Hey Glenn, how's it going? Jared Parsons says we should use is object as the null check. I don't know. Whatever Mad says goes. That's what I say. It's a good question. It's a good question. Yeah. I don't know. I'm going to have to talk to Frank about this feature on the podcast today, because we did a whole podcast on nullable reference types, but I don't know. I guess if I don't know. I guess it validates my API a little bit more. But I guess my code was flawless, really, so I didn't really have any bugs. Maybe one, potentially. But I guess here, if I was to do... Okay, this is what I'm really interested in. Like, let's say I go into this thing, right? Like here, this is going to throw an exception. I know I'm testing it if it's going to throw an exception. See? But I guess I don't get a nullable thing. How do I turn on a nullable thing for nullable? How do I turn on for just a single method? Like they said, you could turn it on with just a flag. So if I set it on, like, can I just put it in here? Oh, see? So this cannot convert null. So this, now I get actually warnings on here, but I wouldn't actually want this to check for nulls because of that. I see. Okay. I see. So I guess as a library creator, I also, like, as an app developer, you also need to turn on this nullable flag checking in general. So like if I was to, like if I come in and I just create a new add, new item, and I'll say like test file. And here, if I turn that on, right? And I said public class, and I said all right, so if I did this, this is what I want to test, right? So this async command, and then what I'm going to do here is going to say public test file here. And then I say my command equals new async command of null, right? So in this instance, I don't get anything. This will throw an exception and it'll fail. However, if I turn on nullable, see, now it tells me. Because my library has enabled that, then they get this squiggle here that says they can't convert a non-nullable. I see. Got it. So it really helps the developers. So here you can configure, so you can actually say it's an error. You can suppress it. Or you could say, go do this, right? Oh yeah, this would be task. Okay. So there's this, however, yeah, so that works. So if you did null, but I guess if I did like of string, and you could do like if test equals see, I can't return null because it's a reference. I guess you could do like, yeah, I see. Yeah, I don't think you can do that. Interesting. Okay, so mostly what this has helped with is that if you were to, for some reason, type in null, you're gonna get this little squiggle, XYZ, for the async command. I don't know if it's really super duper helpful in my case of this one. I mean, it definitely helps me check out things, but okay. Warning. So you just get warnings. I see. Okay. So let us commit this code. Update to nullable reference types and C#8. so if we commit this code, push it up. The thing that we also need to test is on our DevOps if if MVVM reference, I don't care about commit messages. Okay, so if I go into my pipeline, my CI pipeline, we're gonna need to edit this. What we need to do is make sure that we're on, yeah, Windows 2019. All right, that's good. So that should build successfully then. All right, and let's look at our NuGet package. What are we on? .151. So let's bump it to triggers, options, variables. Let's try that out. Nope, let's just save it. All right, cool. So if we go back to our nullables, let's do a pull request, I guess. I have more coffee. It's probably not hot now. I was just sidetracked by the. What other pull requests do we have in here? Anything good? Nope. Anything good in here? Okay, cool. Let's see if this goes through then. Should. Let's check on the build status over here. Summary. All right. All right, so if that's the case, then I feel pretty good about committing it into master then. I mean, I guess this all makes sense to me, but I guess the real test here will be to would be if so people are using C#8 and then they have to turn on nullable to get the nullables in their project. And we're sure here that when I did this and I built this, I got no warnings. Oh, no warnings. These are all in unit tests. Okay. I guess to make sure all the tests still pass. We'll double check it here. I wonder if this is still gonna build because I was .NET Core 3. Ooh, interesting. Let's see. Nope. Does not run because it doesn't have .NET Core 3. I wonder if we should then upgrade this to .NET Core App 3.0? Question mark? Question mark? Let's see if that works. Let's just using MS Test. So let's see if there's any NuGet updates. There is. Whoa. Wait, what happened here? Oh, this needs to be updated. 5.4. I wonder if there's a new version of this. Old CS? No, it's new CS Proj. Calm down, Piebog. This new hotness. Come on. This is all new. It's that new hotness. Come on. That's just a bunch of Git SourceLink stuff. There's SourceLink. This is because I have all the NuGet stuff. Hey, buddy, how's it going? Al-Raza. Treat warnings as errors. Nullable stuff, generate documentation. The problem is even the new CS project just ends up being bigger, right? So, all right, what else did it yell at? So, oh, why do I have SDK extras in here? I don't think I need that. That's weird. Okay, let's look at my NuGets. Consolidate. I don't think I need that. Update all those. Sure. Let's give that a go. All right. Test. Let's go to my test explorer. Let's pin that over here. Let's put this over here. This run. Let's see if they all run. Uh-oh. Oh, interesting. I broke something. Expected exception. Argument null exception. Why would I expect an argument null exception? If oh wow. Okay, so that's actually good because my tests now fail because these tests were wrong. Throws with null can execute. I think now I made it so you can pass it null. I don't think it matters. So like this command, if I go to definition, before we were passing in can execute, but oh, all right. Have a good one. See you, Mash. Yeah, checks against null right there. So our tests are actually wrong. These are actually incorrect. So I think these are garbage tests. Throw those away. This should throw an exception. All right, cool. Perfect. Right here every week, every Tuesday. There we go. Hey Lily, how's it going? Going well. We're just updating one of our libraries with null reference types. I don't know if my example is a great example of it, but we did do it. We found that some of my tests were incorrect. We also found out that I need to update my test runners. Changes. How do I update tests to .NET Core 3? There we go. Let's commit that. Yeah, have fun with the kiddos. We updated SourceLink. We updated a few other things. Yeah, the biggest thing that I needed to do, which is pretty straightforward, is I went into my I had a Windows update. I just enabled C#8 and Nullable. So I guess if I'm an app developer, I should go in and then enable C#8 and Nullable on my app. So I need to do it on my library and on my app. I should also do 2019, I guess, on this thing too. So let's do that really quick. Frank said that he was going to join in on the fun and really describe what I was doing right or wrong, but he did not. So let's see. There we go. So let's see if this runs. Oh, it was canceled. Okay, so yeah, there we go. All right, while that's going, I will be right back. I'm gonna get some water. I'm a little coffee heavy, so I'll be right back in 60 seconds. Right, and I'm back. Ba-da-dum-bum-ba-dum. Did I say refractored? Yeah, that's my LLC. I always say refractored. Refractored. Oh, let's see if this runs. Building. Things are happening. To do it, I think they passed. To pass testing. Insline .NET Core 3. Hopefully this works. I should really control the version of .NET that's installed on my pipeline. That would actually be the correct thing to do. Like, best practice would be to actually install .NET Core here. So use .NET. So really the best practice would be, before I do stuff, be to use 3.0.x, and that's going to ensure that it has 3.0. Like, but previous I should have done 2.2, and then it would have built it in general, but since it didn't have the tools on it, didn't have it, but it should be all right. Now let's go back to our queue. It succeeded. We got an artifact, and we can got a drop file. Let's unzip it. And let's extract all. Boop. And then let us open oh, it has everything in here. It's got the bins and the releases. So if I did, oh, let's go to Windows Store. And then I need the NuGet Package Explorer. Get. Oh, come on now. I created an email for this. I don't know what it was though. No. Let me see if I can do forgot password. Okay. I guess I linked it to this. Ooh, jeez. Activate keylogger. Oh my goodness, it asked me to do something crazy. That's a U, I guess. Let's do a new one here. Oh, there we go. 5WSKPW. I guess. Nope. Alright, so. I guess I created it on this machine for some reason. That's one thing I wish that it would let me do is... Okay, so they sent me a code. Oh, that's good. All right. But at least I put my email as a backup, I guess. All right, so that's good. Tips to get. Oh man. Cannot verify my identity. That is good. Interesting. Oh, I guess I logged into this account, right? Did it really? I don't know what I set my password to. Ah. Ah. How come I just can't download this? I just want to download this. Why can't I download it? I don't know my password for this random Outlook account that I created. Ah. Darn it. Let's see, NuGet. I don't NuGet package explorer Orin. But I want to download it directly. How do I just download it? Let me download it. Ah. Chocolatey? Oh, how do I? Okay. This is going to be a fun adventure, chocolatying it up. Really? You can just do that? PowerShell. Alright, let's do it. I'm ready. Alan Ritchie, welcome to the party. Oh, wow, wow. Alright, so I'm going to pass that in. Installing Chocolatey. Let's run once. Alright.
Got a little Swedish there.
Let's run always, I guess. Alright. Cool. What is Chocolatey? Chocolatey is like a app installer? I've only heard it like a billion times.
Yeah.
Whoa, it's installing stuff. Amazing. Package management. But it's an app though. Oh, it's NuGet for apps. I see. Cool.
Yeah.
I'm interested. All right, so do you want to run the scripts? Yes. Yeah. A. All. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
apt-get for Windows. I don't even know what apt-get is. So that oh my gosh, look at that wall. Oh my god. Oh, did it install? Heyo! It did install though, so I don't know what happened there, but it definitely installed. So that's all that matters. I'm very excited about it. Yes. All right. Oh, there's an icon. Okay, cool. So this all looks fine. Perfect. All right, cool. That all looks good. Red doesn't mean dead. Oh, okay. I guess it just means, oh yeah, exit. Oh, it's just a bunch of red. It doesn't actually mean bad things.
It's delicious.
All right, well, it's good. Thank you. That's cool. I need to figure out how to do that for my app. Sometimes yes, mostly no. That's cool. I mean, it installed. That's rad. I didn't even have to go to the store. I like that. I like that. Okay, cool. So, boop, gone. I think we're happy. We're happy campers over here. I think we can now go into our... Where's my release management? Let's ship this app update. Approve. Okay, so here's what we've done so far. We have shipped the NuGet package up to add nullable reference types. Ooh, I should have actually merged that in. Whoops, just merge pull request. Whoops. So we're in. Now it's in. It's in. It's in. It's committed. It's committed. It's in there.
It should also read that I crushed it from 2013 to present.
But improperly rubbed DevOps on that. All right, cool. So that's out into the world. The question becomes now, if I go into Hanselman Forms. Okay. So now, last week we were working on Hanselman Forms. If we come back to it, what will happen if we enable nullable things in our app over here? So what we want to do is first make sure I'm on the right branch. And let's do that. I think themes are done. Okay, cool. So what's going on here? Let's close the solution. Let's flippity flop over to master. And then let us sync. Nope, not master. We want to go to vNext. Come on, James. Hey, ooh, okay. Just pull. Look at all those changes. Wow. Okay, cool. So now we're in vNext. We're synchronizing stuff up. Things are good. So now let us do a new branch called nullable, I guess. All right, cool. So and if I go into my Hanselman Forms application, let's say we turn on nullable reference types. I do this. I don't know what the nullable annotation context and nullable warning context are. Cool. Dash back. Go big or go home. I'm not gonna do it on the whole project. I don't think. Yeah, so what we want to do here is we want to do Langver latest. I guess we can just do 8.0, right? And then if I go into my view models is where I'm thinking about doing it, right? So should I put it up here? Right? And that's gonna, where do I turn it on? Do I do it here? You think the whole project? The Pikachu? Alright. Do you trust your code? Sure, why not? Alright. So, alright, well, let's fine then.
I'm way up, I feel blessed.
Bye then. CMG, welcome. Thank you for the follow. Do you try? Look at built. Well, it's because they're all warnings. That's why. Okay, so let's do a few things here. So I want to update my NuGet packages. I mean, so would you? So that's a question I have. Is would you turn on nullable reference types for your project? Like for your, like, I guess the answer is yes. Like you would turn it on for all of your projects, team projects, yes. Like for all of your code, for your apps, like for your apps, right? That's what I'm questioning. Is like, would you turn that on? Okay, here's our 6.0 beta, 1.6.0 beta. So if I use the feature and my libraries use the feature, then it would light up for me, right? For personal ones, yes, but getting a team to commit might take more convincing. Let's see. So here, like if I have this async command, I think the thing was, like if I did a go to settings, go to settings command equals new async command, and I just did null here. So now it's actually going to tell me that I can't do that. Yep. Okay, cool. Because my library is updated. Now, if my library wasn't updated, right, like if I go to my install, then I go to, it should light up regardless. Really? Okay, so then why would I need to do it in my library? So, oh, because so if I go to MVVM, right? If I go to 1.5.1 beta and install it. Oh gosh darn it. Stupid. There we go. Okay, so it did do it finally. Okay, so no, but now it doesn't know, right? Oh, yeah, no. So now it would let me, right? Whereas previously, I see. So if the library opts into it, then we're gonna get it lit up over here, right? But this isn't gonna light up because this is like, hey, it can be null, no big. It doesn't know if it can be null or not because it's not a nullable lib. But as soon as I update this, oh, really? Are you sure about that? Okay, so really? Oh, so you're saying if I remove this from here and I go into here, oops. Yeah, but see, it doesn't do the checks, right? Like, I guess, like, it still doesn't. How would I do it? Like, nullable enable warnings? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't do it unless I do. See, then it lights up. They must have. However, maybe... Okay, let's try this out. So this is a .NET Standard 2.0 library. Let's try Net Standard. Let's try a console app. Okay. I'm just out of curiosity, right? Like, because, yeah, I mean, I would want it to give me the warning if I'm using C# 8. Yeah. All right, so helpers. Okay, so this is using, this is .NET Core 3.0. Yeah, I definitely need to ask, I guess, Mads about it then, but. Okay, so there's that. Okay, so now if I did var test equals new async command null, bring that in. I mean, this is going to throw an exception. Oh. Yeah. So it looks like we have to, yeah, we have to turn on per file or per whatever. So I thought it'd be cool if maybe there's a nullable analyzer. Ah, stop using medium. House, thank you coming in.
Hey, friends. Nothing is impossible.
House, 200 biddies. I appreciate that so much. All right, so cannot be null, can be null. Yep. This isn't super helpful. It's a very long blog post. Unicorn dev. Eric Sink. Heyo. Warnings, warnings everywhere. This is a good blog post that I saw come in. Yeah, I do need it. I remember Eric doing something. Let's see. Let's start with some background. We call it the CLR supports value types and reference types. Is it normal that I don't see data table dataset visualizer? I don't know what a data table dataset visualizer is. Boomber. Data table visualizer. I don't know what that is. So problems with null, distance to, blah, blah, blah. Come on, Eric, Sink too long. Not nullable. Nullable. It's like the reverse. That can be null. Oh, yeah, that's what I'm kind of curious about. Is like, is there just a? Yeah, I guess we just turn on the whole project, huh? I don't know why there's not a. Like, how come the property doesn't show up in IntelliSense? That's my problem. Okay, well, let's fix this puppy up then. do it. The nice thing is there's warnings, so you could technically ignore all of them. 41, not bad though. Not bad. All right, so what we're gonna say here is this is an image source. So we're gonna say is that this can be null. Sure, why not? We can check for it right here. Object. Ooh, interesting. This is of interest. Huh. Okay, so we do check against null, but here... Does that work? Oh, that just did a bunch of stuff away. What just happened? That was a big one. Okay, so what is this mad about? Display date. Whoa, everything is very upset now. Whoa, what is going on? Yeah, so this... I don't think that this... works.
Open up the champagne, pop. It's my house, come on, turn it up.
Hey Kunzeel, how's it going? We are attempting to figure out nullable reference types. I'm still confused. I don't know what I'm doing. And like every time I click on it, okay, so it says that yeah, so now that I've turned this on, now I need to give it permission to be null or not null. It's like this is kind of weird that's like here. So this, I guess this could be like, let's just initialize it to string.empty. That's not bad. Yeah, no, null errors everywhere. Okay, so it's like, all right, so I turn this on, that goes away. I guess that's good. I don't know. Some weird thing. Like, just clean up these namespaces. Let's go into each of these controls. Do I even use this thing anywhere? I don't know. It's okay. Let's clean up some namespaces. Save. Let's go into effects, ripple effect. I know I don't even use this anywhere, so that's good. These are good. Helpers, constants, these are fine. Fancy list cell. I don't use that. Let's delete that. Delete. List image cell, let's delete that. I got a bunch of crud in here. Image constants, these are fine. Settings. Nothing wrong in there. Let's remove this. How'd your stream go? Any good? Hey, Anti-Pixelated, how's it going? Good to see you. Welcome to the stream. We just updated a library. I'm a little worried about this. I don't know how this one will do because I can't... Oh, I guess I could do this. Here. Then... See, I can't... Like, this image markup extension is an interface. And I can't change the... I'm doing good. Trying to figure out the shenanigans over here. Text the wifey. Could attempt to... See, I can't change this. So I guess this would be... I don't know. I guess if I just say that, hey, this can never be null, and all right, fine, it can never be null. And then if it is null, then I get, oh. Okay, so what I could do is I could, instead of returning null, I guess I could say this can be, no, it can't be null. So this should probably throw a new null, a reference exception. There you go. Really I guess. Here. There you go. We're still trying to figure out the. It's uninitialized. Considering it. No. Okay, so that's saying it can't be null. This is saying it could be null. Oh no. Okay, it can't be null. Oh, it's in my app. I don't need to test this. Oh wait, no. This is saying it can't be null. God. Nulls. Okay, so this is saying it can't be null. There you go. Now, yeah, you're good. Ship it. So if I do this, this is saying that it can be null. And then I would say if source, but then it really can't be null. See what I'm saying? Like here, if source, like, I'm not sure how I want to deal with this, right? Because if they don't set the source, string, wait, what does the bang do? Nope. Oh, bang dot. That means like, hey, I know that this thing could be null. I guess I could do this. Yeah, you could do that, but it wouldn't help in this scenario, because I think what I would want to do is say if source, I would still say if string dot is null or white space, probably source, then
I'm way up, I feel blessed.
New argument exception of source is not valid, I guess. Because even though that's silly, but oh, Franz, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. All right, let's go through next one. Interfaces. These are interfaces. These should be fine. Blog feed item. So right now we are attempting to fill in nullable reference types. So what we did is we turned on in our project nullable, and what that will do is it will tell us if we are allowed to set things to null or not set things to null. So we're trying to figure that out to help it so we don't throw null reference exceptions. That is what we're trying to do. Display publish date.
I'm way up, I feel blessed.
I feel blessed. So by default, am I even using this thing? That's interesting. I guess just do nothing. I don't really need it because it's just parsing it. I don't know. Frank told me to do it on all my libraries, so you can blame him. Yeah, so this is actually just a get. I never actually do anything with it. All right, cool. So let's remove this puppy. All right. This looks okay so far. Image source. Oh, there we go. Okay, so this is what we're trying to tell it. Is we're trying to tell this if this thing is allowed to be null or not. And for a book, I think that I have this set up where like this is fine. So you just add that on there. Man, so many things. Okay, so that's good. Get rid of this shiny stuff. Okay, so this is cool. So this is telling me that a possible null, there's a possible null reference return from this. Why is that so? Oh, I see. So we've turned this on and there's a possibility in which we could return null. So really what we need to do here is say if there's nothing in here, then a new list of feed item. Go ahead and initialize that. No. New blog feed item array. New that works. Okay, so that works. Oh, enumerable. Ooh. Oh, really? Enumerable. That's new. I did not know that. Enumerable dot empty. Ooh. That's cool. Oh, you just create a new one? Oh. What does that? Return it. Oh, wow. Neato. Thank you, Alan. I've been always wondering how to do that. So that's actually really nice because now I know. See, that's actually kind of a bug because what happens if that does return null? Okay, so that's actually helpful, right? Because before this could actually be null and I might get a null reference exception later on. That is nice. That is nice, nice, nice. Okay, cool. That works good. All right, next. Mock data serve. Oh gosh. All right, so look at this. I already have a bunch of null stuff, so that's cool. Now I know it's enumerable dot enum dot amazing. Oh yeah, this should be task dot from result. This thing, bam. All right, cool. What else do we got? Same thing here. This would be voice. Okay. Styles. Oh, this theme helper. Ah, look at this. Null. It literally says null. Okay, so So that's the thing, is it'll never be null, basically. See it? So do I need to declare it? Yeah. So I declared it as null, but I didn't really need to declare it as null, so that's good. And then I can continue on. Okay, cool. About view model, everything's good here. I gotta remove that. That's good. Log feed item. Oh, this is mad. Selected feed item, load command, refresh command. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh, yeah, we can also clean this up too. So we could do equals. There we go. Get rid of this. Look at those. Get rid of that. Bam. Much better. And then same thing here. We can do this equals about a billion times better. Bam. And it's mad at me for what? It says null, non-nullable field, load command, and refresh command. I don't think that that is true. Like, I don't know why this is mad. It's like, okay, consider declaring it as nullable, but like it's not nullable. Yeah, I don't think it's smart enough to know, like, hey, I'm literally... That's the thing is... Well, that's the thing is, it's actually... Oh, I see. No, it's okay. It's okay. Watch, because... Look. So, what I'm going to tell it here, this is interesting. I'm going to tell it that actually load command could be null, but capital refresh command and capital load command can never be null. So if I try to actually call this, this is cool. Okay, so because here if I actually did load command dot execute, I don't know, null I guess. What did I pass into it? Look at that. Tricky. Clever. So it's actually smart. So actually we are saying that these are going to be null. Nope. iCommand is a system Windows input. Yeah, now async command is mine. But yeah. That is actually really smart in general. So that will make sure that if I ever try to call these, it's going to yell at me because it's going to tell me they could be null. Also, thank you to... Where are those bits at? House. Cheered to Hundo on November 8th, 2019. Bam. I see no, don't do it. Don't suppress. Don't do it. Shame. Shame. Okay, what else we got? I'm gonna go one by one over here. It's funny that I do this here. Like, I don't know why I just don't... Oh, I can't do it here. Okay. Everything is good here. I like this. Okay. What's next? Okay, so this one is podcast is uninitialized. Ah. So can podcast be null? The answer is no. Podcast should never be null. But I have this default constructor that calls this. I guess what I could do is... No, I can't do that. I think this one would be... If you suppress, then you're doing it wrong. Maybe. Yeah, it's a good question. So here, I'm saying these can never be null, so I always initialize them correctly. Okay, so I could say that podcast could be null. Then this is going to tell me that this is going to throw an exception. So I could say like if podcast equals null, then return, and then I could do it's pretty decent because of stuff. This would debug dot write line was not set. Don't do it. Same thing here. So if podcast isn't set, then return. That gets rid of that possible null reference exception, then go from there. So I'm telling it that it could be there. Okay, let's try this one. Yeah, my code's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with myself. Hey Hassam, how's it going? We just added null reference types C#8 feature to one of my libraries and also to my project. We're cleaning it up right now. So far, it's pretty good. We had 40 warnings, but they're pretty small. See, like episode here. So this is one of those cases where I'm going to be passing it information, and then I want to, I'm going to put this on the same line. So I need to be able to say if episode if it's null, then you can't really play the podcast. I mean, we're not going to make it this far, but yeah. Okay, let's go into settings view model. All good. See, I'm doing pretty good over here. Okay, this one's mad at me. So this is also cool. So again, this is going to be this can be an I command actually. Ooh. These can be null, but these can't. Boop. Ooh, those are mad at me. Fine then. So this should just be equals, get rid of this junk here. Get rid of that. Same thing here. Get rid of this junk here. Perfect. Cool, cool, cool. Get rid of that junk there. Awesome. All right. Video detail. Oh, this is mad at me because video ID. Okay, so. Oh, interesting. Yeah, you can see I have this like default constructor, but then it doesn't initialize anything. So, yeah. guess I just do this, right? Then if I did this, boop, that could be null. But then I'm saying this can't ever be null. Oh, that's kind of nice, actually. So what this is telling, let's put this at the top. We're going to tell it that, hey, it is possible that inside of here, video is null. So if I did like video.id, then var test equals. This is going to tell me that, hey, video might be null. Because it's true, video might be null and it might not have constructed it. However, I'm literally telling video details that video feed item can never be null. You can't pass me null. Don't even try it. It's actually nice. Okay. This one's good too, okay. Cool. Video series. ID and title are uninitialized. Let's do that. Coming along nicely. Okay, data service. Again, data service. Get rid of that. There's my data service. Guess it could technically be null. This data service can never be null, technically. I guess. Okay. Where else do I possibly have a null reference exception? 12. Thanks, Bill. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure it all out, man. I don't know. Oh, interesting. Oh, this is try catch. I'm gonna do a debug dot write line. There we go. I should really actually. It's good because I should actually do my warnings and stuff. Ooh, interesting. Okay, so this is blog collection. All right, so we clean up this to say equals this. I mean, this definitely could be null. This here, possible null return type. So this, I have to declare that this could be null. I mean, that could be null too. And then I think the rest is okay, because wherever I do view model here, I check for null. See, now had I not done this, it would give me these little squiggles. See? But I'm a good boy. And I did do it, so that's good. So it's good. I'm saying this thing can be null, obviously. This thing can totally be null. It's not its fault it can't be null. Okay, cool. Let us go to the other ones. Possible null reference type. Ooh, VM could be null. Yep, so here, this is terrible code. Look at this. So there should be podcasts, details, view model, VM. And then this is bad. This is just terrible code. VM, question mark, equals, binding context as this. This is null. This is null. And this, remove that accessibility thing. This could be null. Come on, James. Okay. Like that could be null too, and then this should be. That's better. Okay, cool. Oh man. So for some reason, I don't have a null. Okay, cool. Checking nulls. Checking nulls like it's my job. Cool. Alright, that's good. 8, we're down to 8. Oh, interesting. I guess these could be null, technically, if you never set them. And then here I could say if tweet template equals null or tweet with media template equals null, then throw new null reference exception. Actually, let's just do this. So now, this is good, because here, if I do this and this, now we've checked against null. We're going to throw exceptions, but now we won't run into this, which is good. All right, cool. Now we're getting better. This could be null. This also could be null. Additionally, we can get rid of this shenanigans. And then just do as. There we go. And again. I think here, if it stopped, and there we go. Well, that's interesting. I think if I did if VM equals null, return. Let me get rid of all the issues there. It's also, oh, null. Oh, this video could be null, technically. Or the video equals null, then get out. Okay, get rid of this stuff here. Say equals as this. And this thing can be null, sure. That can be null, sure. Then view model or view model equals null, get out of here. Tweet could be null. I could say if tweet equals, see, this is where it's actually powerful. Is it like if, so I think I just do this, like if tweet, ooh, and then use pattern matching. Boop. Better. Okay, cool. Cool. All null reference exceptions crushed. Nice. Done. Nice. All right, so let us go to our Hanselman Azure DevOps. Let's make sure that I'm building on the latest here. That's not the right one. That's Azure. I want DevOps. And I need to go into my pipeline. Let's go into here. So far, I think that we are on We're on 16.3. Let me see here. GitHub.com/Xamarin. I know that Android will give me 16.4 preview. I guess this should always give me the latest 16.3 commercial. I think we can definitely upgrade to let's try to disable tasks. Let's try to upgrade that automatically. I think how do we find the build for iOS? I'm actually curious if I can get rid of these install steps now. Let's try them. Because I think if I remove, if I just disable, I think these should use the latest. Maybe. Let's try it. Disable. Disable. Thinking. Let's try that. Let's give that a run. All right, let's do a. Let's clean up some of this stuff too. Actually, can I do it for all? That'd be nice. Project. I think I want to do an all except for. Let's try that. I also want to put it in release and see if I have anything different there. Ooh. That's gonna have different debug issues there. So here we can say debug right line. At least put something out. That's good. Not sure why I don't do anything here, but sure. Let's bring in that using cool. Alright, so question is, once I put in release mode, does that work? And also, does this stuff work? Fingers crossed. Nope. I think maybe I need to install now .NET Core 3.0 on this build server. Let's double check that. So if I did 3.0.x, not including preview. Let's give that a go. I think the newer builds now use 3.x, which I think maybe already installed. I need to double check it. Aha! In fact, I think here what I can just do is for App Center. Yeah, let's just use the fully qualified. So minimal. I guess. Boop. Okay. Cool. So it should be good. I'm curious if these are not gonna build again. Ah. I don't know what's up with my build. It's very strange because it should have this stuff in. Okay, let me enable this again, I guess. I guess that is the latest. How do I figure out the latest builds? So how do I figure out where do I go to? Xamarin Boots blog. That one. So this would be 6.3. So I should be able to take this one, copy, just notarize build. So interesting. I think I could take copy link, and I think I could do this. Let's try to disable, duplicate, enable iOS 16.3, put that in there. And I also have 6.4, duplicate, enable 6.4. It should work. Let's give that a go. But I also need my 2.2.0. Let's see if that looks that failed right away. Woo. Install mono. Oh, yep. That is because I need 2.2.x because that's what Boots uses. They should update that to 3 though, I think. Let's see. Do they update it to? Ooh. I wonder if they updated it. Issues. I don't know if they did releases of this. I'm kind of curious. Sometimes, you know, when you edit pipeline, I have to ask Peppers. Peppers! Boots, is there a, there's only 1.x. Like, I'm curious if they have manage extensions. There's my Boots, but like what, I have 102 installed. Marketplace. Okay, so I haven't updated it yet. I'm gonna put an issue on here it says update to use .NET Core 3. This is now the default that is all the way to 16.3. I else manually install 2.2.x. See if he responds to that. Let's see if this works. Let's go back to my Hanselman. At least going further. That's good. Okay, so installing stuff. That's good. Okay, cool. That should still work then. All right, so don't save that. All right, so this is fine. So I should be able to do clean add nullable reference types and test MVVM helpers. Commit sync test. Forward push. All right, so if we do this, let's see if that works. Add nullable reference types in it. That should push off a bunch of new stuff that's happening. We also do need to update our Azure Functions to 3.0 at some point, I think, too. So nice. But I think this is all exactly what we want to do. So, all right, cool. Well, thanks a bunch of everybody for hanging out with me and sticking around. And yes, Alan, go update it and let me know how it goes. I bet it won't take that long in general. And it's probably worth taking a day to flip it on your app. I mean, it's just warnings, so technically you could ignore them. But I'm feeling pretty good about it so far. And I think it'll help me in my code as you create a new app if you already have it there. I think Frank and I may talk about this today again. So now taking peers. You know, the funny part is that we had one in, so github.com/Xamarin/essentials. And we actually had a pull request over here for nullables, and it touches 115 files. So yeah, I mean, of course there's a bunch of errors, spacing errors. So yeah, I'm not positive on this one. I mean, yeah, I'm not, there's like so much going on here. Yeah, I don't know. There you go, Janice. Yeah, let me know how it goes. I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever use GitHub Actions. So Azure. I mean, it's here. If it's very simple, I guess, but I don't know. Let's see if this pipeline is building. All right, this is probably pretty good because it's actually compiling. Yeah. Fantastic. Please finish. Cool. All right, cool. All right, let's see who's on streaming. Oh, we can head over to the Jolly. Yeah, we just finished adding some stuff. I wonder if has John Galloway been streaming at all? I don't know. All these ads. Well, I'm gonna go podcast with the Frank. I guess I'm just gonna get out of here. I'm a bad raider, so the worst. I'm the worst. All right.
I'm way up, I feel blessed.
Jose, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that. Yeah, I started streaming around 2. We stream every Friday at 2 o'clock. Usually some Xamarin stuff, some mobile app stuff. Today was Nullable References, C#, 8, hanging out doing that stuff. That was pretty good. And made some coffee, made some CBD water. It was very good. I'm going to go podcast it up with Frankinator 5 billion. And I hope everyone has a great weekend. Yeah, I hope everyone enjoys the weekend, crushes it. I'll be back next Friday with something. I don't know yet. Something good, I'm sure. And also, be aware that you can actually go over to Microsoft Ignite. You tap on that puppy right there. And you go to... where are the sessions at? Oh, on-demand sessions. That's weird. Okay, they're all here on the tech community. You type in Xamarin, boom. All the Xamarin goodness. That is not my session, I don't think, but they're all there. Yeah, a bunch of good stuff in here, I guess. Yeah, all sorts of good stuff. I don't know if there's anything with the keyword Xamarin. Let's see what that URL looks like. Oh, that's cool. That works great. All right, cool. Thanks everyone for hanging out. I hope they have a great weekend. I'll be back next week. Let me know if there's anything specific you ever want me to work on. Of course, thank you for all the follows, the bits, the raid, the subs. I appreciate that. Of course, we take all profit and we donate that to charity. You can check that out down there below. And yes, MLS Friday. It's happening this Sunday. I will be there in person. That is correct. I will be at the Sounders Toronto game. Season ticket. I just sold my 2 other tickets though. I had bought 3 tickets because we have some family in town. We're gonna crush Toronto just like we crushed them a few years ago. Right, Toronto, right? Yeah. Yeah, Toronto versus Seattle. We'll crush them like we crushed them before. Hopefully better than just a shootout like last time. But yeah, it's super exciting because it's here. It's the first time ever. And we're going to crush Toronto. Ridiculous. It's going to be ridiculous in general. How do you create a plugin? I have a template over here. I'll post a link into it in general. Yeah, it'd be really fun. Definitely watch it if you can. It's the first time that the Sounders have been able to host an MLS Cup here in Seattle, so it's very exciting for the city. Sunday we're gonna do march through the city, do all that stuff that you'd expect, which would be super fun, and go from there, which is cool. But yeah, feel free, go Sounders. Naturally gonna do it, so we're there. I was asked if I will ever talk about making bindings. Probably not. I don't know, because I don't do bindings. But we should have people from the component team do them. I've never had to bind anything in my life, so that's my. Actually, I have. I did do one time for one of my image circle ones, but I don't know. I don't like doing it, so in general. So, I don't know. That doesn't help at all. But I should have John Dick come on and then as a guest. So maybe I will do it, Jose there, which would be good. Or maybe I can have David do it. So David Ortnow. In fact, you get to head over to the live coders. There's a bunch of us on there. Kim Philpotts, the Xamarin Forms team, David Ortnow, Kim Philpotts. I'm just saying names over and over again. Anyways, a bunch of people, they stream all the time, so they're very good. I need to do a blog post of everybody in general. I think doing Kotlin is a little bit funky because you have to add the Kotlin NuGet package. Swift you can't do yet, so in general. Yeah, so Xamarin team, like I said, there's a Xamarin Forms team. There's, like I said, Kim Philpotts, David Ortnow, James Clancy on there as well. The live coders, they're all kind of in there. You just got to kind of find them. But those are the ones that I would normally go to. All right, I'm going to get out of here. Thanks, everyone, for hanging out. Have a good one. Bye.